Okay, new Acerbis gas tank, 5.3 gallon, is filled to the rim. So this is going to be a test ride today. We're going to see how many miles we can get. Let's go ahead and set that. Come on, I'm doing it the wrong way. There we go. And we're set to 0. Perfect. Let's get rolling. Alright, buenos dias. D-Rock here. Welcome to the channel. I hope you all are well. I'm going to ride up an elevation today, so it's going to get a little cooler. But I have some new things on the Suzuki DR650. First is the new Acerbis gas tank in clear, I might add, or natural color. This way I can see how much gas I have in the tank. Today's going to be interesting. I'm hoping, I feel pretty confident that I can get well over 200 miles out of the tank without refueling. So I'm going to ride over 200 miles today without refueling to see if I can accomplish that. And go from there. I got some action right in front of me. Hopefully this is chill. We'll take this easy. Multiple police. I don't know what's going on here. Oh, they're about to have a really bad day. Anyway, back to what's going on. Where was I at? Yes, I'm riding over 200 miles. So I'm leaving St. George, Utah, and first place, I've done this video, or video similar to this when I did the 500 miles. It's kind of the same route. It's still hot. Oh my God, it's almost the end of September and it's still 100 degrees out here, so I need to get up in some elevation for comfort. Unfortunately, I'll be coming back down into the misery, but that's okay. We're almost done with it. And my first town out of St. George will be Panaca. That's, if I believe, well, I guess I'll find out when I get there, but it's right around 90 to 94 miles. And I want to go past Panaca, Nevada, to a little town called Caliente, which is another 14-15 miles past. So I should get back here maybe 220 miles, and hopefully I don't need to refuel. So that's the objective today. And I've got a couple new things as well, minus, you know, besides the gas tank, that is. I've installed new handlebars, new grips. So yeah, this DR650 got a bit of a facelift. I have to wait on a new set of hand guards to come in. My bark busters that I had on previously don't fit because I got a 1 1/8 bar, tapered bar, so I have to get the 1 1/8 bark busters. However, my 7/8 bark busters will just get transferred to my XT250. So win-win. Everything's good. Anyway, join me for the ride. If you are new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It is free and it helps the channel tremendously. All right, it's going to be a beautiful day. Yeah, I was going to leave really early this morning, and where I'm heading to, the temperature up there was just over 40 degrees. I was like, you know, I can wait an hour or two. And besides, this time of year, as we're getting into early fall, one section of road that I have to ride through, it's really spooky, to be honest with you. Last fall, I almost got taken out by a couple deer that came right straight down the cliffs right in front of me when I was doing about 70 miles an hour. Yeah, my life flashed before my eyes. I mean, it was inches I missed those deer. They just came, like, for example, what you're looking at to my right, straight cliff like that, straight down, no brakes, right at me, and I just hit the gas and got in front of them. Anyway, I wanted to give it a little bit of time. Early morning is not the best time to be riding through that section because of the deer. And I have to turn east for a minute, and the sun right in that particular spot, when it comes up, it's just blinding. So I just took my time getting the bike ready today. And speaking of getting ready, I've got the bike loaded out like almost for a moto camping trip. So I've got some weight on the bike aside from myself. I've got plenty of extra gas, water, clothing, just all the gear I need, tools to fix flat tires, all that stuff, because I wanted to get a realistic idea of how much gas consumption I'll get off this tank. I don't know why it would be any different than with the 6.6 gallon tank I had on, but I don't know, maybe there will be. It's a smaller tank, the bike's a little leaner now. I really like the way it's looking. And if you didn't watch the install video, I did remove the stock fuel filter that was jammed in the carburetor. That thing has a tendency to clog really easily, so that's off, and I have an inline fuel filter now. I also have a mesh fuel filter right at the top of the tank here as an extra set of precautions. So I don't know, maybe that'll do something with consumption, who knows. So the goal is to get to 220 miles. That's what I'm shooting for. And I didn't drill the other side of the tank on the right side and add a second petcock. I just went with one petcock, so it keeps things simpler. I may have to tip the bike to get to the gas. I don't know. All these things I just don't know, so we're gonna find out today. And let me just add also, like I said, I'm waiting on new handguards. I'm gonna do another video following this one about all the mods I have on this DR650 now, because some things have changed. And I'll discuss some of the installation that I went through with the handlebars. It wasn't pretty, I have to admit. However, it was my first time doing that, so I do have a valid excuse for it, but I got it done. And if I can do it, anyone can do it. I am certainly not a certified tech, so there's that. All right, I had to take a break. My hands are freezing, so no hand guards, no wind protection. I'm up in elevation, pretty chilly actually, and no deer incidents. So I'm at 48 miles now, and you can see the line probably right where my fingertip is. That's where the gas is. So the bike is leaning a little bit. A little more consumption than I thought. I mean, I'm pretty sure I'm going to go well over 200 miles today on the tank, but I don't know. And while I'm changing gloves, I thought I'd just have a look, inspect everything. So when I put the inline fuel filter in here, I didn't use clamps this time. I used zip ties. And I don't know if it was because the material degraded, but the clamps weren't working. I was getting gas seepage right at this connection point here on the other tank. So I thought I'd try zip ties this time, tighten them really down. I don't know if the heat's going to affect them because it's so close to the motor. So I'll just keep an eye on that. I'll be checking that periodically on this ride. Other than that, everything seems to be working the way it should. And as I mentioned, I did put new handlebars on, new grips, and I also added 1 inch, as you can see here, maybe the bag's kind of 1 inch risers. So I had to put some risers on the bars because I have a different seat, no stock seat. I'll explain all this on the following video when I talk about the mods, but it's definitely made a difference. I'm no longer leaning forward as I ride. This is a little better for the back and everything. All these things I discovered on that 500-mile ride. And one of the biggest things were the stinking hand grips, man. The stock hand grips at 500 miles, it was almost like they were cutting into my palms. They were so uncomfortable. So that was interesting, dealing with the grips here, and I'll talk about that in the next video. But yeah, everything's looking good on the bike, and we're at 45 miles. So yeah, not bad. We'll see what's going on. Get some gloves on and we'll keep rolling. As a side note, I'll mention this as well. And you don't know it until you don't have it. But I was like, man, well, my hands are going numb. Man, the bar end weights. With those hand guards, I had the bar end weights on them. It made a difference. The DR650 is a little vibratey, you know, vibration prone. So I can't wait to get the hand guards with the bar weights back on. That made a big difference. All right, welcome to Panaca. Where are we at? 93.5 miles, 94 miles. Okay, that's right on the money there. And it's looking like I've got, I don't know, maybe a little more than 2/3 of a tank left. So I think this is going to happen. And I've been at speeds between 65, 75 miles an hour. I know it's probably a little slower on the DR with the speedometer, but that's what I'm rolling at. So I think I'll be able to get well over 200 miles out of this tank. That's what I'm thinking anyway. So I'm going to push on through Panaca here up to Caliente, and we'll check the speedometer there. Got a sign right here. Caliente is 14 miles. So yeah, we'll be well over 100 miles by the time we get to Caliente. We've made it to Caliente. Where are we at? 108 miles. Not bad. Still got plenty of gas. Well, if I was on the stock tank right about now, I'd be like, oh, okay, where am I going to get gas? Where am I going to get gas? This is when I start sweating. So having this bigger tank is definitely a peace of mind, but it's not so big like the 6.6 gallon tank, which is, well, almost too big. Although I still like it, but I think I prefer 5.3. This is definitely, I like the bike a little leaner. I think I'm going to be able to get back to St. George, no problem. I might push on a little farther and get up to the hills, the summit of the hills out there, and turn around from there. That's a pretty cool area. Got to tell you, those 1-inch risers definitely made a difference. Big difference. Sitting and standing. I'm going to have to do that to the XT250. Man. Had a refreshing Pepsi. I always stop here and have a drink when I come through Caliente. It's a ritual for me. And I don't feel like turning back yet. I want to keep going. So like I mentioned, I'm going to go up into the hills here. And I'm going to get up to the summit. It's maybe close to 7,000 feet, I think. Beautiful up there. But I want to get, I'm at 109 miles right now. Hopefully I kind of want to get to almost 125 and then turn back. But wherever the summit is, that's where I'll turn back. Still looking real good on gas. I shouldn't have any issues. While I was there having a drink, I inspected the bike. Everything looks good, nothing's leaking anywhere, like seepage from the connection points, so yeah, pretty good. The only mildly annoying thing that I've experienced is my hands almost going numb from the vibration, since I don't have any weights on the handlebars and the ends. Other than that, man, the new grips are great, the handlebars are great. I'm only at 109 miles, so I'm still fresh at this point. Once you get around 350 miles, that's when things start to really bother you. But I feel good. I feel really good at this point. No issues with my back like I did before. This is great. All right, I am up at the summit. I think I'm at Oak Spring Summit. It's just under 7,000 feet. It's nice, well, in the shade anyway. And what am I at? Almost, it's 119.7, so almost 120. I think this is going to be my turnaround point. If you can see, since I've got the bike kind of level, this is where my fingers are. That's how much gas I have left. I don't know. I think I can get back another 120 miles out of this. I feel pretty good about it. Like I said, I can always tip it to get it over, but
Yeah, I think so. So this is going to be my turnaround point, and I'm just going to ride it, and I'll do I'll stop in Enterprise just to see what the level of the gas is there. That's, I don't know, that's, what is that? 50 miles away, a little over 50 miles, 50, 60, 70 miles, something like that. And we'll have a look at the tank, see where we're at. All right, good and bad news. Well, I'll just go ahead and start with the bad news. So I'm over 200 miles. However, my speedometer, odometer has stopped working. It just stopped working about maybe 5 miles before I got here. I'm in a little town of Enterprise, and I stopped at 196.4 miles. So I know I could hit 200 here, and I know from here to St. George I've got about 45 miles. So if I make it back home and don't run out of gas, then I know that roughly 250 miles I can get out of the tank. However, I'm wondering why I don't know, I had no problems with the speedometer at all today, and just all of a sudden it just stopped working. I don't know, maybe something's not connecting when I put everything back together. I'm not sure. I'll have to check it out. I don't really want to deal with it right now on the road. Good news is that goes out. Bike keeps running. There's no problem there. So you can see how much gas I have left in the tank now, and I don't feel the need that I need to tip it. You can see on the other side, it's a little, well, maybe you can't see. I got about that much. Seems like I got a little more on the other side. I'm wondering if I can make the last, I feel like I can do the, I don't know, maybe I will tip it. Well, I got a little more gas in it. I didn't tip it all the way down because I didn't feel like picking it back up. But anyway, yeah, it's still good. It's a good portion. So I'm gonna go ahead and push on back to St. George. Like I said, I've only got 45 miles, and hopefully once I get back to the house, I can get the speedometer dealt with. That's so strange. I wonder why I don't know, maybe something pinched. Well, that's how it rolls. I'm gonna go ahead and knock this last section out. I'm almost into Ivans, which is just before St. George, and I could feel the bike start to, you know, when it's about to run out of gas, I could feel it start to drop in power there. So I'm going to switch to reserve. I'm still at 196.4. My speedometer did not kick back in. It's glitched out. But I feel that I got right at probably 240 miles before I need to switch into reserve. So that's pretty good. So I'm gonna go ahead and switch into reserve and finish this out. So here's the petcock. That thing probably juts out to right there. It looks like there's plenty of gas right now, but when I level the bike out, it's gonna go back down to that. So I'll go ahead and switch to reserve and finish this out. I didn't want to run her completely out of gas. So now we've got plenty of gas. So I'm thinking around 240. Before I hit the reserve. Okie dokie, made it back without running out of gas. Very nice. Okay, back. 240 miles. So this is where the gas is. Of course, the bike's leaning. So, but I'm figuring 240 because I was about a mile away from the gas station where I originally gassed up this morning. And I had to go a few more miles past that to get home. So I did hit the reserve right at probably 240. I can't say for certain what the exact mileage is because the speedometer went out, but I'm pretty sure it's probably 240, right around there, because from that gas station all the way up to the summit past Caliente, it was 119 miles, and I came back and stopped, switched to reserve about a mile from the gas station. Anyway, that all makes sense. So I got to pull everything apart and see what's going on with the speedometer. And other than that, sweet ride. I wanted to get at least 250 miles out of this tank, and it's totally possible. So switching to reserve, you could probably go over 250. I want to point this out, but probably 98.5% of this ride was done at speeds from 65 to 75 miles per hour. And on the way back, I was in a pretty good headwind, so that, you figure in the variables, easily get 250 miles out of a tank of gas, the Acerbis 5.3. That's what I wanted. That's perfect. And if you're curious, that's the 6.6 tank right there, the Acerbis. When I did the same test with that tank, I ran out of fuel without hitting reserve at 298 miles. So the 6.6 tank is an easy 300-mile tank, probably more than that. But anyway, I am very happy with the 5.3. It's exactly, the bike is just, it's fantastic right now. I didn't have any issues with the fuel line here. No seepage. Everything's still solid. So that's good. It's like 95 degrees right now riding back. It was hot, no issues there. New handlebars, new grips, everything's working out fine except the speedometer glitched out. Whatever happens, I don't know, I'll figure it out. But I'll do a follow-up video with all the mods when I get the handguards. They're shipped right now on the way, and that'll be the follow-up video, but there you have it. Acerbis 5.3 gallon gas tank, easy 250, probably a little over 250 mile out of a tank of gas on the Suzuki DR650. That's perfect. It's fantastic. Anyway, folks, thank you very much for watching. If you're new to the channel, please consider subscribing. It is free. It helps tremendously. Thanks again. Stay safe out there. We'll see you next time. D-Rock out. Adios.